Hey, Taylor.
Hey, how are you doing?
How are ya?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I like this. We got two rock and roll blonde chicks talking rock and roll. I love it.
I like it. I love it.
I love it. So how are you? How are things going? Obviously, we've got new music to talk about, but with the current situation, how are things going?
I mean, it's crazy times, obviously, for everyone, but I'm doing all right. I'm kind of a homebody in general, so this is kind of used to being quarantined by myself, I guess. But it's a real bummer not being able to go play right now. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like, putting out music and not being able to complete the circle of playing it live it's a bit hard.
Yeah, and we've talked to a ton of bands, and that's basically what a lot of them have said, whether they've postponed album releases or just working on new music but not able to share it. So you're definitely not alone in that. But Death by Rock and Roll, that is the banger that you guys just put out, which is fantastic. It's been, about 2 weeks. So how's the reaction been that you've noticed from fans?
It's been insanely positive. Like, I mean, you never know what to expect when you put out new music, and especially now, especially in quarantine, releasing music, it's kind of scary. No idea what the reaction was going to be, and it's been so overwhelmingly positive that I'm overwhelmed. Like, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. And
we get tons of requests for it here at the radio station. People are requesting it all the time, and so it's really cool. So congratulations on that. I mean, it's a banger. And it's like, I know we're in quarantine, but I feel like as the weather is getting warmer, at least for us here in the north, like, it is roll the windows down
and crank some rock and roll.
Yeah, straight exactly. Rock and roll. So the album, I believe, is not coming out though until next year, right?
Well, I don't have an exact date yet, so I don't want to misquote anything here. Everything's still a little bit up in the air because everything is still so kind of crazy. I mean, with everything that's going on. So don't have that yet for you, but obviously Death by Rock and Roll, the song is out, and there's going to be, we're working on visuals right now. We're trying to figure out how to complete that circle from quarantine, which we're working on. I've got things percolating, and then there's going to be more songs coming out and stuff before the record. So we're back. This is just the beginning. Death by Rock and Roll, simply the tip of the iceberg.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. I know a lot of fans, because it's been a couple of years since you guys have released music. So I know fans are super excited that you guys are back.
It feels good to be back. We went through a lot, and we worked really hard. And to come back and have such great reception is really, it's amazing and overwhelming, and it makes me blush.
Good. Well, so because of the pandemic and everything that's going on, how much of the album had been done prior to everything going into lockdown?
We're finished. We were moving into the visual stage of everything. So luckily we got the photo shoot for the single cover and for the album cover that you haven't seen yet, but that we did in New York, and got that in literally two days before lockdown started. So that was very fortuitous timing, because I don't know what we'd be doing without that under our belt right now.
Right.
So, I mean, the music was all finished though, so it was just kind of, lockdown kind of put a damper on things in the sense of like, okay, we have to adjust the plan now. And we talked about pushing the single release and stuff, but at the end of the day, I was like, I can't sit on this music forever. Like,
right.
And people, rock and roll and music has helped me through hard times and stuff my whole life. So it's like, if this can help anyone in some way and put a smile on their face for, even 3 minutes or whatever it is, then put it out into the world. It's music. It's meant to live with people.
Yeah, well, and I think too, just like I said, talking with other bands that have been releasing music, that's what everyone's been doing. Like, we've all been sitting at home. We've probably listened to our favorite albums now 97 times.
Ad nauseum.
Anything. So to hear new music, I think a lot of people really love that. And I think now more than ever, it's appropriate. I feel like there's a lot of questions like, well, should we release new music while all this stuff is going on? But that's what we're doing. We're watching shows and we're listening to music. So I think it's exciting to hear it.
Yeah, I think the hardest decision for me wasn't about putting the song out, because I want the song out in the world. I want people to hear it. It was the not being able to complete the circle with tour, which is why the album release date's a little bit up in the air still, because I really want to be able to support that on the road.
Yeah.
you want to play those songs live.
Yeah.
It's very I don't know what the right word is. It feels very incomplete. It's like, and it's out. What do I do now? I guess I'll go back to watching Ozark. There's no show.
Right. Yep, for sure. So, you worked with some really great people on this album, other than obviously your supporting band, but Tom Morello on the album, which is so cool. How was working with him? Because he's one of the best.
He's one of the best. He's so great. I love Tom. I had this song called "And So It Went," and it was begging for a Tom Morello, solo. He has such a unique identity and personality with the guitar, and I was like, this is really asking for your voice on this, dude. Are you in? And he's like, fuck yeah. And he really took it to the next level. So I'm really excited for people to hear that one.
Well, that's kind of like my question for, all of us who don't write music and don't write albums, but, is that what you do? You just call up Tom, like, hey, bud, hey, Tom, how are you?
Pretty much,
be out the album?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's not something I do often. We don't collaborate a ton because I think that I feel like there's a lot of music now that's just featuring that, and to me that can get really redundant very quickly. So to me, collaborations have to come about really organically, and the song comes first, and it's like if there's someone or an element that can be added that would elevate the song, then it's a phone call you make. It's not just for a name or something.
Yeah. And since we are sitting in quarantine, are you with, obviously you said the record was done prior to all this happening, but how's the rest of the guys in the band? Like, how are they doing right now? How are they holding up?
They're doing good. Probably about the same as me. We're all itching to get out of quarantine and get back in a room so we can start playing together again. I mean, right before all this started, we were rehearsing every day, and we're having a blast, getting real tight again because it had been a long time since we played and or toured, I should say. We play, but rehearsing the set for the new show and stuff, and we're just dying to get back to doing that. So like, once the four of us can be in a room together, that'll be a big weight off my shoulders. I'll be real happy.
Are you guys all in the same state right now, or no?
Not the same state, but we're all in New England, so we're all we're all real close to each other.
Gotcha. Well, and obviously, like these, live chats and Zoom meetings, have you guys considered trying to do a live show with all of you on, like a streaming device? Because I feel like I haven't seen a ton of it yet, but I think it would be awesome.
We are certainly discussing it. I've done a couple quarantine videos. I did one for Fearless Records for Crew Nation. I did a cover of Peace, Love, and Understanding acoustically. A lot of acoustic stuff going on right now. And then I did for Matt Cameron of Soundgarden called me up and asked if I wanted to do a tribute of for Chris of the song Halfway There. So we did that separately in quarantine and put that video together, and that seemed to work out pretty well. So now the next step is doing it with our own band.
Yeah, it would be super cool, and thank you so much for joining us, because this is what we've been doing to connect at least with our listeners and talk to people, and it's definitely weird. How are things in the New England area, with the whole pandemic, the grocery stores? Like, how have you felt about going out and doing anything normal?
Well, I'm a hypochondriac to the umpteenth degree. I mean, before all this started, I think it's probably because I'm a singer. I mean, that's at least a part of it. But I wear masks on planes. I don't like to shake people's hands. I have Purell in my pocket at all times. So I was already kind of freaked out by hypochondria in general. So this certainly amplified it. So I haven't left my house.
Okay.
I leave to get groceries, but I luckily have a grocery store here that does curbside pickup, so I don't have to actually go in. I just order them, and they set them outside, and, wear the mask, the gloves, the whole thing, come home, take off all the clothes, immediately shower, throw them in the laundry, disinfect everything with, alcohol and whatever. So just being extra cautious, basically taking what I would normally do and just amplifying it by a billion.
Okay, which, and that's, like you said, as a singer, and I think that a lot of people don't really understand that bands that are touring, how many people you see and meet every day. And I was talking to Ben of Asking Alexandria, and we kind of like laughed because he said he's really brought back the finger guns because we're not shaking hands. And then we kind of laughed and thought about it, like the next time you do a meet and greet, if we get back to doing meet and greets, like there will be no, we don't shake hands, we're just gonna finger gun each other, like hey.
I mean, we were doing that, not the finger gun, but before this, because I don't like to touch, and it's not anything against the fans, or it's not a personal thing, it's just I'm so paranoid of getting sick, because if you get sick on tour, you're fucked. Like it's real, it's not good. I power through, but it's not fun. So what we did, the meet and greets, is like the fist bump, like the elbow bump,
which is not a bad idea. And like I said, I just don't think that some people necessarily really think about how many people you really encounter when you are, it's hundreds of people a day. So it adds up when you actually think of that, and then you equate it to germs. It can freak you out if you think about it too much. You got to distract yourself. So you mentioned that you haven't left the house, so I assume that you're watching a lot of shows. You mentioned Ozark, which are you finished with the third season?
I'm almost done. I've got a few episodes left, but I love it. I think it's great.
It's one of my favorite. I binge watched the last season in about a day and a half, and so I won't give anything away. But I'll tell you what, the last episode at the end, I was sitting watching with my cat, and I sat up and I was like, oh fuck.
I mean, there's so many scenes in that show that make me go, oh fuck. My favorite quote right now is when Ruth says, when she tries to quit the cartel. Well, I don't want to give this away to anyone who's watched it, so spoiler ahead of time. But when she tries to quit the cartel and she goes, you fucking wolf bitch. Like, that's such a great line. I cracked up. I was like, I love you. I love
Ruth. I love Ruth. I think that she's one of the best characters. She's such a boss-ass bitch. And,
so great.
Yeah.
I just think the acting on that show in general is fantastic.
Yeah. What other shows have you been checking out?
I go back to, that's what I'm in right now. What else have I watched? I just watched some comedy on Netflix with David Spade. I can't think of the name of it, though.
It's like the Missy.
The Wrong Missy or something.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. It was kind of unexpected. The girl in that, I thought she was really funny. And then I kind of go back to my general shows that I always watch, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I love that show. Friends. Kind of just the easygoing, we've got enough stress in the world shit, so watch shows that are just kind of, familiar. Yeah,
I started watching, after I got done with Ozark, I was like, wow, I really like this mob thing. Like, there might be something wrong. I really like watching people get shot and killed, but so I started watching Boardwalk Empire, and that one's really involved, and I had to take a break. I was like, you know what? I need stuff. I was dreaming about it. I was like, I don't need it.
I need this too much.
We've got a couple of questions here from some of our fans. Let's see. Thank you, Taylor. Well, let's look and see. They want to know, will you ever release the song Good Girls Go to Heaven, Bad Girls Everywhere?
Bad Girls Go Everywhere.
Bad Girls
Wow, that's a blast from the past. That is a really, really old song that I don't even know how that got out. I don't know. Maybe one day, way long in the future, I'll throw in some of my... I was literally a child on those songs. I was 12, 13 on the old demos, so my voice hadn't even changed yet. So maybe it's some sort of joke, way down the line. But no plans for right now.
Okay, and of course, a bunch of people, which you might not be able to answer this, but do you know when the next single is dropping? Obviously, this one just came out, so that's not really. Typically, they don't drop a bunch right one after another. But any inclination? Yeah, any inclination at all?
I don't have a date for you. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think the spacing of the songs is gonna be drastically far apart. So that's something.
Cool. And as for you had mentioned the visuals a little bit earlier. I would assume that the plans probably for music videos and things like that had to change a little bit.
Yes, certainly changed. That was after we got the photo shoot in New York. That was the next step, was music video. And obviously we cannot do the full kind of production with, lots of extras and a full crew and all that. So I'm working on that right now. I'm trying to put together something that is doable in quarantine and still of a level of quality that I am proud of.
Okay. So we'll just have
there's something coming. I've got ideas.
Okay, excellent. And then somebody else asked, obviously, we're the Riff, like we're rock and roll, Pretty Reckless. You guys are rock and roll. But is there any pop artists that you would consider collaborating with, like maybe a Halsey or a Pink, or have you ever thought about anything like that?
I've legitimately never thought about it. Because this might sound naive or like I'm full of shit, but I really don't listen to pop music at all. So I've heard the names and stuff, but just because they're around, but I don't know it well enough to answer that.
Okay, fair enough. But these are, like I said, these are questions that
people of course.
In. And then if you could tour with any band that you've never toured with before, who would you like ideal tour lineup to go on the road with?
There's a few. Foo Fighters. We had some Foo Fighters dates lined up before all this started. I was really looking forward to that. Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine. That wouldn't suck. I just want to tour. I want to tour with bands that I want to watch their show every night. That's right. The dream tour. When it's a band that you're really a fan of, and you do your job, you do your part, and then it's like you get to just see a show every night, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Rage Against the Machine, because obviously that reunion tour was one of the bigger shows coming this year. Have you ever seen Rage, like, original lineup? Did you ever get a chance to see them?
I never saw them live. I've seen all the YouTubes and everything online, but I've never seen them in person now. And yeah, I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll still happen. So.
Yeah, so right now it looks like they've just postponed the dates to next year, but that seems to be like the biggest one people are really bummed about. And I've never seen them, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time. So,
how could they not? They're so awesome. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll definitely. That seems to be what's happening. Is everything that we had booked and stuff, everything's just getting moved. So I'm trying to look at it positively. It's like nothing's canceled. It's just getting pushed.
Right.
Just gotta wait out the storm. It'll pass, and then we'll be back on stage rocking.
Yes. All right. Well, I know that you got a bunch of stuff that you're doing today, so we'll wrap this up. But I know a lot of people are looking towards our favorite bands and our favorite rock stars, for I guess comfort in this time. So is there anything that you want to share with fans that maybe are struggling through all of this that, might need some like words of encouragement, anything that you could share with them to maybe help them out?
I give terrible advice, so don't take anything I say at face value. But, I wouldn't even listen to myself on my own advice. But, I guess, for me, music's really just been salvation. It's been since I was a little kid, and especially now, and in hard times, I turn to music. And because when it comes down to, there's a song for every feeling. There's a song for every mood you're in. There's a song for every emotion and every something that will comfort you. And that's what I try to do, and try to self-focus, like try to better yourself in some way if you can. Like I've been playing a ton of guitar just to kind of pass the time and just get better at it, because practice never hurts anyone. So just try to stay light, and try to, I know it's very heavy, dark times right now that are very scary, but I think just try to take it easy on yourself. Don't be super hard on yourself, and just take it day by day, baby steps.
Yeah, and I think that's great advice. And we have so many fans in here that are just commenting that they love you, and
I love you guys too.
Yeah, and thanks for the music. Super excited to hear the new album whenever it comes out, and the next single. And congratulations on the success of Death by Rock and Roll, because it's doing really well. And first time I heard it, I was like, yes.
Yes. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. It really, we couldn't do this without you guys. And it's like I've said 10 times now, it's really overwhelming. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll have a great rest of your day and stay safe out there. Good luck with the rest of the album coming out. We look forward to hearing it, and we will definitely see you soon out on the road as soon as we can.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.